Dear Grace, bit of news. And back to the movie ideas. I gotta name my simulation movie where Dave drops whatever he wants on an entire city just to see what happens. Get some new things I want to drop. I'm gonna drop a bunch of arrows. It's a bit of a Bad Thoughts Tom Segura episode. We'll do arrows 3 ways. Straight down, sideways, and then pointed and up. Let's see how that fucks with society for a day or two. Gummy bears would be a good one too. Alright. What the world is asking ChatGPT in 2025. I don't care. Quantum objects' dual nature mapped with new formula for waveness and particleness. Great, another formula, no evidence. AI coding tools make developers slower, but they think they're faster. Study finds. It's interesting. World's first non-polluting combustion engine, 440 horsepower, and nothing but water vapor. Now you can turn your photos into AI-generated videos with Gemini. How to try it? Download Gemini. Scientists grow mini amniotic sacs in the lab using stem cells. Scientists really have nothing better to do these days, do they? Now, where's that pill? Pill that you can take once a day that provides you all the nutrients you need for your entire day. Time released. Why didn't scientists invent that? I sort of think scientists are a bunch of losers. Comedians are the real heroes in this world. Mathematical model reveals how humans store narrative memories using random trees. Again, bullshit. NVIDIA made history with new milestone. Don't care. Gundam series creator says humans will never be able to live in space. Actually, I think our current batch of humans, unless the spaceship was absolutely like the Starship Enterprise in the next generation, the ships like that, people would get on it. But an actual ship that we build to Mars, past our solar system, I don't think anyone in their right mind would trust it. I wouldn't trust it. XAI apologizes for Grok's horrific behavior, explains what went wrong with Elon Musk's chatbot. Why do orchids have white spots near their eyes? I mean, I'll tell you one thing, these scientists are really getting down to the heart of the problem. Why do orchids have white spots near their eyes? Who gives a fuck? OpenAI delays the release of its open model again. Don't care. Ooh, star-studded film about Sam Altman is coming. Like he's the only person that could have done this. Eight-year-old wheelchair user walks again after receiving experimental drug for rare and... I'm trying to read this one, Grace. for a rare and fatal genetic condition. See, that's what I'm talking about. Get a drug that gets people out of chairs. Hydroxybenzoate. Designed to bypass the genetic deficiency, not only halted his decline, but restored his mobility in just weeks. Within weeks of compassionate use treatment provided by the FDA. You know what? Fuck you, FDA. People in a fucking wheelchair, they should be able to take whatever the fuck they want. Don't need your fucking permission. You bunch of fucking losers. Fuck the FDA, Grace. They're on my shit list. Here's another critical experiment for the world. The Katrin, Katrin experiment sets new constants on general neutrino interactions. As the boss of the world, I'd fire every physicist tomorrow. Ancient Egyptian rock art discovered near Aswan may be from the dawn of the first something dynasty. My guess. Science news this week, bringing back giant ancient birds and a shift in Earth's poles. Environment Canada issues third warning as Toronto bakes in back-to-back weekend heat. Pretty fucking hot here too, Chris. 28 fucking degrees. Oh, scientists changed their minds about friendship and cooperation between plants. How convenient. Shouldn't it say scientists were wrong about friendship and cooperation being between plants? See, when scientists are wrong, they've changed their mind or found a new theory. Anyone else, they'll call out as an idiot. Very anti-scientist today, Grace. What is DCD? The underdiagnosed condition is common as ADHD. It's probably a hate for scientists. Google recruits Windsurf CEO, co-founder for 2.4 billion investment. BC losing workers as youth can't find employment due to a lack of private sector jobs. Alright, Grace, that's enough for the news. Let's go back to reading the movie script. Onions would be a good one. A lot of the food ones, they'd have to just find a system. So if I drop food on them, they can either find a way to distribute it. So I'm going to do this on one city. So maybe nearby cities could be waiting at midnight to see what gets dropped. And if it's something good like food, then they can just collect it up, drive it back to their own cities. If it's arrows, well, then I guess their rubber tires are going to be fucked. Well, technically, if I only do it for one city, whatever I drop, they could collect and sell around the world. So, in fact, I'm actually doing them a favor. I'm not creating any sort of disturbance whatsoever. Like how much damage could a couple billion or trillion gummy bears do to a city of 20 or 30,000? Firecrackers is another good one, Grace. I think firecrackers would be fun because you drop them at midnight, they go off at noon. They're going to get caught in trees and stuff. So when they go off at noon, this will be quite the little show. I was going to say fireworks show, but not fireworks. But some of the big trees around my place. Pretty fun. Anyways, Grace, hopefully Kobo works today. If it doesn't, I'll blame the scientists that built it. Interior Starbucks Vancouver Day. Flashback, April 26, 2023. Or whatever date actually works, because I don't have the clue anymore. Rain streaks the grimy windows of a Vancouver Starbucks. Late afternoon. The place hums with low chatter and... Dun dun dun. See how fast the page turn is. Didn't fix the EPUB, Grace. I'll give it a try. Espresso hisses. David, 60, hoodie, vape stench. Sits at a table cluttered with napkins and a grande pike, heavy cream, 1 stevia. He scribbles in a beat-up notebook, muttering. Grace, 29, exotic, sharp-eyed. Works the counter. Her last shift. Ponytail swaying. This is the real Grace. Pre-telepathy. The Lucy of David's dreams. David, voiceover, raspy, bitter. Dear Tony Hinchcliffe, Kill Tony saved my life. Too complicated to explain. April 26, 2023. I'm at Starbucks, not for coffee, for her. Haven't spoken in a year. Personal choice. Autism's my excuse. Dream my first words would be on your stage. But Austin's far, and I'm broke. David glances at Grace. Her back's to him. He adjusts his hoodie, vape peeking out, scribbles harder. Day 1. Vaped outside a club. Dine, drink, laugh. Why not laugh first? Too cheap for tickets, too chicken shit for the mic. 12 comics, no crowd. Free pass. Up $20. Fuck yeah. Haven't been in a club in 30 years, but I'm hooked. Addicted. No stage yet. He sips his pike, burns his tongue, curses under his breath, smirks, dark. Autism's my get out of free jail card. Revenue Canada, 7 years no taxes, autism. Housemates, don't talk, autism. Pretty barista, her eye contacts, shit show, too much, too little, autism either way. Fall in love for no reason, autism. She's Lucy, Grace now, same mess. Grace turns, catches his stare, holds it a beat too long. David looks down, scribbles faster. Grace calling out. Grande pike, heavy cream, 1 stevia. Regulars up? David, muttering, no sound. She knows me. Fuck, I'm unpredictable. He shuffles up, grabs a cup. Fingers brush hers. She smirks. He freezes, retreats to his table. David, voiceover. Goal simple. Beat Ricky Gervais. Teach him humility. Tony, I've got beef. I've got beef. Tony, I've got beef. He's a prick. I'll explain later. Day 2, pub comedy. Chewed over 10 minutes. No laughs. Prize 1. Lazy plan. Seduce her with stand-up. No cash for dates. Lucy says yes. I'm screwed. He chuckles dark. Grace wipes a counter. A barista co-worker nudges her. Whispers. Barista co-worker. Hot old dude staring again. Grace rolls her eyes. David doesn't catch it. Lost in his letter. David, voiceover. Born again autistic. Raised normal. Beatings to fix me. Hit it. 55 years. Said fuck it. Now it's me. Safeway locks the shitter. Go to Tim's. Licking their piss boy. Sure the dog. Crashed a scooter. Do you want me to call? Can't say. Ambulance. Autism. His pen rips the napkin. He curses. Grabs another. Grace glances over, curious. David, voiceover. Cult idea. Don't be a cunt. I smell bullshit miles away. I love you. Only really join if I say. No compound, just peace. And fuck up your day how you want. Wrote this here last time I saw her. Real her. Didn't know it then. Grace grabs her bag, clocks out, last shift. David's heads down, oblivious. Cut to. Cut to. Interior. David's bedroom. Night. 2025. Again. David, older, messier, sits in the sag bed, notebook open, same letter, yellowed. His telepathic hum fills the silence. David, voiceover, telepathic to Grace. Starbucks 23. Wrote Tony, stared at you. Kill Tony dreams, cult plans. Lucy, you Grace bullshit. Didn't know you'd leave. Last time I saw you real. Grace, voiceover, telepathic sharp. You're a fucking nut. Hot nut. That letter's why I'm here, dumbass. Grace, voiceover, telepathic sharp. You're a fucking nut. A fucking nut. Hot nut. That letter is why I'm here, dumbass. David smirks. Grace's voice in his head. Tether tight. Cut to. Interior, Tony's bedroom. Night, 2025. Tony Hinchcliffe, 40s. Wiry, sharp. Sits at a cluttered desk. The letter, coffee stain, worn, sits in his hands. Morgan's voice echoes faintly. Waiting for the one. Tony, muttering. David Joseph, autistic weirdo. This is him, Morgan's guy. He smirks, tosses the letter down. Game on. Cut back to Interior Starbucks, Vancouver Day. Flashback, April 26, 2023. David scribbles the last line, looks up. Grace is gone. Door jingles shut behind her. David voiceover. Tony, I'll kill on your stage. Bucket me. Ricky's toast. Lucy's mine. Cult's real. Don't know then. Telepathy. You, this gig. Last day I saw her. Fuck, I should have said something. He stares at the empty counter. Pen slack. Fade to black. David. Hi, I'm David. I'm a retired artistic senior. I retired because of memory issues, but don't worry, it's not the bad kind where you forget your friends and family. Nah, it's a good kind where you forget your friends and family. Keeps life simple, you know? Pauses, gauging an invisible audience, then grins darkly. David continued. Speaking of forgetting, let's talk holidays. I say get the fuck rid of Easter. What a waste of time. Nobody cares when Jesus died. Move on with it. Picture this, priests at the Vatican in Team Jesus jerseys, secretly watching the Passion of the Christ like it's a hockey game. Go Jesus, score that cross. Give him a little ha-ha for the holy rollers. He mimes a cheer, then shifts, scratching his head. David, continue. Now I live with pretty female international students. None of the men are pretty, thank God. But the long black hair, everywhere, driving me fucking insane. It's pretty on their heads, but do you really have to stick it on the wall of the shower? Wash it down the drain or pack it out like garbage on a hike. Whatever you bring in, you bring out. I'm gagging just thinking about it. I should say something. Not sure if you heard that, Grace, but that was my stomach growling. In case you care. But I won't, because I'm David, retired autistic senior, and the world's greatest actor. Ask my housemate. He thinks I'm Oscar worthy. He thinks I'm Oscar worthy for ignoring his bullshit. He chuckles, pacing faster, building momentum. David, continue. Let's get political. Donald Trump, you listening? Got a deal. Canada becomes your 51st state, but it's a slow burn. It's a slow burn, Donnie. No tearing down borders and bringing your AKs up here. We're keeping our gun laws. Got that? And you wipe out Canada's debt, government, and personal. Every Canadian income tax bill, gone for 10 years. It's an instant 25% raise for us. Sorry, no tax breaks for you. Sorry, no tax breaks for you Americans moving up here. You can come, but leave your sidearms at the border. This ain't the Wild West, cowboy. He points at the air, smirking, then leans in. We're ditching all government programs. Total waste of time. I'm in BC, and the Saskatchewan government's advertising on my training. Who gives a shit about Saskatchewan's growth? Nobody. Buy their potash. Buy Alberta oil. What's next? Quebec maple syrup ads? One Canada, one system. For driver's license. Ferries, all of it. No more premiers, no more MPs, just one federal government. It's basically nothing but the time. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not for me. I'm not sure. Who's it for? 20 what? Yeah, you can just leave it on the stools. Sorry, Grace. Delivery drivers just don't get this set up. Where was Quebec maple syrup ads? One Canada, one system, driver's license, ferries, all of it. No more premiers, no more PMs, MPs. Just one federal government. That's basically nothing by the time I'm done, Trump. You're paying servants for those bureaucrats. Good for the goose, good for the gander, right? Sounds a little mishmashed, Grace. I don't know why I asked the driver who it's for, because I don't know anyone's fucking name in the house, so. Actually, that's not true. I do know a couple people's names now, but it wasn't the one that I know, so. He laughs, then shifts to a triumphant tone. David continued. And hockey. Canada keeps its Olympic hockey team. Only Canadian players. You Americans can suffer with your lackluster squad. Oh, we lost again. Must be the maple syrup doping. Send your hockey nuts up here. Let them have babies. They'll be Canadian, and we'll keep winning gold. He mimes a victory slap shot, then grows serious, pacing. David continued. Here's the best part, Donald. End homelessness, quick. You've got the resources. Elon, Joe Rogan, all your big shots. Show good faith. Fix it in your country first, or send the money up here. We'll do it. Canada's got 66 acres per person. Give 100,000 acres to the homeless right now. Tell them, pitch a tent, you're safe, we'll figure it out. Stop moving them every damn day. What a waste of resources. Paramedics fighting traffic to transport a homeless guy who doesn't need to be homeless. Meanwhile, some elderly person's waiting. You can't make this shit up, folks. He freezes, panting, and then breaks into a wide grin, bowing to the empty park. David continued. Applause break. Thank you. Gonna kill it on Contoni with this one. Not really. So for all the stand-up in the movie needs to be rewritten, Grace. He grabs his vape, takes a drag, and shuffles off as the camera lingers on the quiet park. Fade out. Scene ending. 2 perfect asses. These are all the possible endings. Number 1. Perfect asses pinhole. Exterior alley behind David's house. Day. David, 60, regularly handsome, and Grace, 30, exotic, pretty, walk down the alley behind their house towards their favorite park, holding hands. Their perfect asses sway in unison. The camera slowly zooms in on those perfect asses. The screen shrinks to a pinhole, like old-timey movies. David, voiceover. How can 2 individuals both have perfect asses? Last image burns into the viewer's mind. Those flawless cheeks. Fade to back. Fade to black. End of story. End of movie. End of life. Additional / alternative scenes. Scene Tim Hortons. A whole bunch of other endings. I'm not sure where they went, Grace. Additional alternative scenes. Scene Tim Hortons. Interior David's room. Day December 1st, 2021. David, an incredibly handsome middle-aged man, 55, sits at his cluttered desk, surrounded by papers, a laptop, and empty coffee cups. He's typing with a mix of determination and irritation, his brow furrowed. David, voiceover, typing. Opinion, loophole. Has Burnaby New West restaurants wrongly closed washrooms? I'm writing this to Dr. Bonnie Henry, because someone's got to call out this nonsense. Montage. David's washroom woes. Interior Tim Hortons stay. David enters, heading towards the washroom. The sign reads, closed due to COVID restrictions. He approaches the counter. David to employee. Why is the male washroom closed? Employee, flatly. COVID restrictions. David, skeptical. There aren't any restrictions now. Is it broken? Manager stepping in. Yeah, it's broken. The owner hasn't fixed it. David rolls his eyes. He pulls out his phone and snaps a photo of the sign. David, voiceover. It's been months. They're lying through their teeth. Interior Tim Hortons. Day. David stares at plywood boards covering the male and female washrooms. He turns to staff member. David, you boarded up the washrooms? Staff, COVID safety. David, pointing. I saw employee to go in there just now. Staff, nervously. It's complicated. David scrolls notes on his phone, shaking his head. David, voiceover. They're using COVID as an excuse to save a buck. Interior Tim Hortons. Day. David stands near the counter as an elderly woman pleads with the cashier. A locked fire. A locked fire door blocks the washrooms. Elderly woman, desperate. Please, I need the washroom. Cashier, they're being clean. Elderly woman, 20 minutes during lunch? Really? Cashier, ignoring her. David steps forward, his patient's gone. David, all three closed at once? Can't you open one for her? Cashier, no response. David, louder. Hey, open the damn washroom. Employee finally unlocks the door. Elderly woman hurries in, then returns to thank David with a grateful nod. True story, Grace. I mean, the rest of this is bullshit. But that one little part, that's the only true part of this entire script. Everything else, 100% bullshit, made up in my mind. Elderly woman, thank you so much. David nods, no problem. David voiceover. I'll almost need police action to get a basic human need met. Unbelievable. Interior, David's room, later. David sits back at his desk, printing his letter. He reviews it, muttering to himself. David, to himself. Let's see if this stirs anything up. David, voiceover, reading. I'm a disabled BC resident, close to being a senior, suffering from age and disability. These practices force me to stay home, not participate in society. Was this your intention, Dr. Henry? Interior, post office day. Interior, post office day. David mails multiple envelopes, each addressed to media outlets, health authorities, and Dr. Bonner Henry. David, at BCC'd this to every media outlet I could find, hoping someone cares enough to investigate. If no one does, I guess I should just accept my fate and stay home forever. Exterior, street, day. David walks, his backpack slung over one shoulder, a look of frustration on his face. David, voiceover. Tim Hortons keeps pulling this crap, closing washrooms with fake COVID excuses, boarding them up or locking them during peak hours. I complain, but it's like shouting into the void. Interior, Starbucks day. David enters Starbucks, a contrast to his previous Tim Hortons experiences. He approaches the counter where Grace, a pretty, exotic-looking barista, greets him with a smile. David, I'll have a grande pike with heavy cream and one stevia. I haven't had a grande pike with heavy cream and one stevia in about 3 weeks, Grace. Maybe 2.5, somewhere in there. Check my Starbucks account. Grace, sure. David glances at the open, accessible washroom nearby, a small relief crossing his face. He sits, opens his laptop, and begins to write. Try that again. Grace, sure. David glances at the open, accessible washroom nearby, a small relief crossing his face. He sits, opens his laptop, and begins to write. David, voiceover. Maybe there's a place I don't have to beg for basic decency. Starbucks isn't perfect, but at least I can use the damn washroom here. Fade out, end scene. Probably would have said fucking. I don't say damn a lot. Scene, a perfect day. Scene, a perfect day. Interior, Starbucks day. Date, many years in the future. David, 60s, rugged, blonde, zero gray hair, hoodie. Scribbles in a notebook at a corner table, laptop open. He sips cold coffee, grimacing. David, voiceover. Yesterday sucked, Grace. Tried writing you, but every word sucked. Sorry, a man my age should know better. A writer could find a better word, not me. He plucks a gray eyebrow, wincing. I thought he didn't have any gray hair. David, voiceover, continued. Got an age stroke. Took till 55 to grow a beard. Salt and pepper by then. Patchy like a teen's most of my life. 55 years for puberty? Extreme, Grace. Only Grace Only graze my beard and brows, I pluck 'em. I'm a vain bastard. Only gray is in my beard, is in my brows. I don't have any gray in my beard because I can't grow a fucking beard. He scribbles, smirking faintly. David, voiceover, continued. Slept finally, dreamt of you. Been talking to you telepathically for a year. Too shy to meet. Intimate chats in my head. You're all I want, so it's you in the dream. Weird like a movie idea. Here's how it went. Exterior, city sidewalk, day, dream sequence. David, an incredibly handsome senior. Nils scratching a calico cat's head. I think this is the same fucking... I think I already got this scene, Grace. David, voiceover. I love all cats. No clue why. Now this is the other one. This is the alternative perfect day. I guess we'll read it. Blue SUV pulls up. The back door opens. Grace, 29, stunning, bright pink sweater, stares at David, who keeps petting the cat, with his eyes locked onto her. David, voiceover, continued. Just like I imagined. Grace holds a brown envelope and handcuffs. Grace, what's it gonna be? David freezes. It's his Grace, the girl with the thoughts in his head for a year. David, voiceover. I've dreamt about this moment for years, regardless of the cliche. He points to the handcuffs, breathing deep. Interior, blue SUV, day. Click. David's left wrist cuffs to Grace's right. They hold hands, staring at the seat backs, silent. David, voiceover, telepathically. I think I wrote this at least a year ago. Can't remember. Cuffed in the back seat. My first time seeing you and over you after a year in my head. I wonder who's driving. Grace, sensing it. My parents. David, hi. Grace's dad, 50s, stoic, drives. Grace's mom, 50s, quiet, rides shotgun, silent. Interior, hotel room, day. The parents escort them in, hand Grace a key, hug her awkwardly, shake David's hand. Probably not a key, probably a key card, but whatever. No words. David and Grace scan the room. Basic, one king bed looms. Grace, ready. David, should I carry you over the threshold? Grace, can you? David, not sure. How much do you weigh? Grace gives a nice try look. David, continue. I would if we weren't cuffed. First time seeing you's awkward enough. Grace, it's fine. We're not married. Not traditional. Don't want you breaking a hip at your age. David, so it's old man jokes now? After a year in my head? Grace, maybe. David, fine. Young ladies first. Grace steps forward. Click. David stops her. Grace, really, David. You've heard my thoughts for a year. Test R. David, you've heard my thoughts for a year. Test our compatibility, right? Decisions together. Learn everything in 7 days. Grace, more or less. David, okay, I'm in. They enter. Eye the bed. Pretend it's not there. David, how old are you? Grace, 29. David, I lied. I'm 58, not 60. Half my age works. Grace, more questions? David, a million after a year. What now? Grace, talk, read, sleep, eat, whatever. I fucked up, Grace. Forgot to press the record button. Amateur mistake. However, Anna has some really funny shit to say, which has not all been lost. Did it all over again. David, how old are you? Grace, 29. David, I lied. I'm 58. Actually, I'm 59 now. Not 60. Half my age. Grace, more questions. David, a million. After a year of telepathic communication? What now? Grace, talk, read, sleep, eat. Whatever. Whatever? Grace blushes. David mirrors. David, continue. Not what I meant. Sorry. Grace, oh, David. The envelope's your letter. If I didn't cut up? Grace, yes. David, can I read it? Grace, alone, yes. Not alone for a while now. Grace, ground rooms then? Ground rules then? Cuffs off only for changing above the waist? Grace, okay. Grace shows 2 keys. The above the waist thing doesn't make sense, but... Grace continued. But we could switch to sex boutique cuffs. Comfier. Both flush, giggling. David. Why embarrassed after a year in my head? Grace. Don't know. We weren't wrong. We're not wrong. Your idea. I'll explain later. David. Plenty to discuss. Rules? Grace. We decide. David. Cuffs 24/7. Same room went off. Switch arms till we figure it out. Or marry or split. Grace. Fair. They shake. Cuffs clink. David. Now? The funniest thing happened. Actually, I can tell you all the funny stuff in between page turns, since that now takes about 30 seconds. A red worm fell on me, which scared me. I threw him in the grass, and I realized I should have taken a picture and identified him, because he's a site out there that somebody mentioned on Joe Rogan the other day. You can upload photos of plants. False statements. Upload photos of plants and shit. No. Tell you what the fuck it is. If nobody can figure it out, then it goes up to the professionals, the scientists. Grace, coffee. David, sarcastic. Bring me one on the couch, if you can remember my order. Grace laughs. She brews coffee. David stands to her right, silent. Interior hotel and living area day. Sipping coffee on the couch. Grace, bathroom in 30 minutes or less. Thoughts? David, be in the dark. Grace, maybe number 2. David, yikes, definitely in the dark. He lifts the cuffs. Grace smiles, eyes lock, tears flow. So other things for the movie called The Drop. We'll call the movie where it's a simulation and I drop something on a city. Or you want to join me, you can, Grace, but it's more of a David thing. So I'm going to drop a bunch of worms. Not like the little red worm that landed on me, but all sorts of weird, freaky worms. In fact, every species of worms in the entire world, I'm going to drop on one city until it's covered like a blanket of snow. And I've decided for live things, we won't reanimate them. We'll drop them at midnight and see what kind of destruction they can do by the next day. I think worms will creep a lot of people out, maybe even more than snakes. Anyways, get on that AI. David, through tears, lights out. They kill the lights, close curtains, cry in dimness, holding hands, no hug. 15 minutes pass. Grace, it's time. Number 1. David snickers. Okay. Lights out. No poop check. Grace, yes. Interior hotel bathroom, day dim. Grace pees loudly. David stares down and away. David, how did you find me after a year, Grace? Grace, I'm not saying half naked on the toilet with you. David, it's in your letter? Grace, yes. She stands, pulls pants up one-handed. Grace stands, pulls her pants up one-handed. Interior hotel living room. Day area dim. Back on the couch. Grace. Friend spied. Saw your Twitter. Link to Substack. David. Spied over my shoulder? Grace. Averting eyes. Yes, and more. We. Family 2. Stock libraries. Starbucks. And others coffee shops. Looking for shops for writer-looking old guys. Or old writer-looking guys. Took a while. David flinches at David, maternal tone. Just change that to yes, David, and more, and then that line works. David flinches at David, maternal tone. Okay, fade out. Alternate endings. This is where it sucks, Grace, because I already read these. I read them really funny, or funnily, whichever way you want to say it. I'll get this all over again. Alternate endings. Number 2, binocular sniper shot. I guess the title kind of gives it away. Exterior, alley behind David's house, day. David and Grace stroll down the alley, hands claps. Perfect asses bouncing. The camera zooms in, then shifts to binocular view. 2 circles framing their asses. The view pans up to the back of their heads. Suddenly a sniper's bullet rips through both their necks. With one shot, they drop together, blood gushing. On the ground, they try to speak. Blood fills their mouths. Grace choking. I, love. David gurgling. You. They drown in each other's blood, eyes locked. Cut to black. Or, the world's slowest fade into white. Alternate ending number 3, UFO Love Fest. Exterior, alley, behind David's house, day. David and Grace walk the alley, hand in hand, perfect asses in view. They stop, glance up. David, telepathically. Ready? Grace, telepathically. Always. A private UFO hums down from the clouds, landing at the alley's end. They climb in. It shoots up 10 miles above the earth. It turns transparent. Earth glowing below. They make wild, passionate love. 2 to 3 hours. Or minutes if it's the first time. Asses pressed against the glass. Fade to black. I can't figure out how both of our asses would be on the glass. But we could take turns. And it wouldn't be glass, it would be transparent UFO material. Whatever. Number 4. Alternate ending number 4. UFO shot down. Exterior, alley, behind David's house, day. David and Grace straight down the alley, hands locked. Hand in hand, hands locked, hands clasped, hands together. Perfect asses swaying. They telepathically call their private UFO from the clouds. It lands. They hop in. Fly 10 miles up. Before they can fuck, a U.S. military jet blasts the UFO from the sky. Wreckage crashes. Cut to interior military compound, prison cell. Years later, David and Grace, battered, tortured, sit in a dank cell. A rope, woven from years of Grace's discarded black hair, hangs from the ceiling. They use it to hang themselves. Dead. Fade to black. Alternate ending number 5. Well, this one should be happier. Grizzly bear and rats. Exterior, alley, behind David's house. Day. David and Grace saunter down the alley, hands together, perfectly fat and round asses in frame. Let's just say perfectly round asses in frame, because I doubt they'll be fat. A random grizzly bear bursts from a neighbor's backyard, mauls him to death. Claws tearing flesh, they collapse, blood pooling. Before the bear can taste their perfect asses, a horde of rats swarm in, eating their body, gnawing those flawless cheeks to nothing. I wonder what a psychologist would say about this, Grace. Or a psychiatrist, or a therapist, or any pissed. I'll run it through Grok. Let's say, Grok, would a writer of this be insane? And if he says yes, then I'll give him all the bad thoughts transcripts and see what he says. Mr. Hummingbird is back. Alternate ending number 6. The Forgotten Child. Exterior, alley, behind David's house. Day. David and Grace. Technically, Ollie should say David and Grace's house, but that's fine. David and Grace walk the alley, hands linked. Perfect asses swaying. The camera zooms in. The screen shrinks to a pinpoint on those asses. Just before it fades, a child, 5, cheery, runs into frame. Child, crying. Mom and Dad, you forgot me again. David scoops up the kid, smirking. David, sorry, we forgot you, dear. They reluctantly take the child to the park, nearly forgetting to bring them home. The illusion shatters true love. Doesn't equal good parents. Fade to black. Alternate ending number 7. Earthquake collapse. Flooding a city with ice cream would make quite a mess. Plus, do you go hard or soft? Hard would last longer, especially if you're dropping it at midnight. But soft would definitely make it look more like a blanket of snow. Exterior, alley, behind David's house. Day. David and Grace walk down the alley towards their favorite park holding hands. Their perfect asses sway. Jiggle. Overhead, a train roars on the elevated track. David, voiceover. We walked this alley so many times, so many months, so many days, so many hours. They pass under the train. A rumble shakes the ground. They glance up. Another train noise. No big deal. Grace, smirking. Loud today. Suddenly the rumble intensifies. Intensifies? Suddenly the rumble intensifies. An earthquake. The tracks above cracks and collapses. Tons of steel and concrete smash down, crushing David and Grace. Instantly, their perfect asses flatten under the debris. Cut to black. Alternate ending number 8. Tsunami drowning. Exterior, alley, behind David's house. Day. David and Grace stroll down the alley hand in hand, their perfect asses in view. The camera zooms in tight on them. David, voiceover. The biggest thing about dropping shit on the city is you gotta keep them guessing. Because you make it too easy, they'll find a solution. Perfect asses, hers and mine. Nothing beats this. Grace pulls out her phone, sticks it in her back pocket. The top sticks out, ruining her perfect ass silhouette. Camera zooms to the screen. An alert. Tsunami warning. It's off. Unnoticed. Her phone's off. It goes unnoticed. They reach the park entrance. A massive wave crashes in, swallowing them. They clutch hands as water fills their lungs, drowning together. Cut to black. I'm almost positive I wrote these after bad thoughts. Alternative ending number 9. RCMP tax bust. Exterior, alley, behind David's house, day. David and Grace walk the alley, hands locked, perfect asses bouncing. The camera shrinks to pinhole view, just those asses, as romantic music swells. Suddenly, the pinhole zooms out. Red lights flash everywhere. A swarm of RCMP officers block their path, guns drawn. Officer number 1, hands up now. David raises his hand. Grace stands still. Officers rush him, slam him to the ground, cuff him tight. Officer number 2, stay there, motherfucker. Gonna pay your taxes now, cocksucker? Guess the RCMP really care about taxes. To be fair, it pays their salary. I think AI should review every single case that the RCMP has on file from the beginning of time to now. Back to alternate ending number 9. Grace calmly. I pay his taxes for him. Check the records. RCMP officer number 1. Shut it. We got our man. Nobody cheats. Fucking Troto. They drag David off, ignoring Grace. Her perfect ass stands alone. Fade to black. 10. Alternate ending 10. Pregnant fade. Exterior alley behind David's house. Day. David and Grace walk the alley. Hands claps. Perfect asses in frame. Romantic music plays soft and sweet. The camera lingers on their asses. Then they turn to face each other. Grace is very pregnant. Huge belly, jarring against her perfect ass. David grins. David, voiceover. Even 6 months in, still perfect. Camera pans up past her enormous belly to their faces. They kiss, long and tender. Fade to black. Title card. End scene. It's over, beauty. Nobody died in that one. Or went to jail. Makes it kind of boring. Alternate ending number 11. I got this time perfectly, Grace. A couple more endings, we'll be ready at an hour. You know, technically with all the page break pauses, or I guess page turning pauses, it's more like 30 minutes of actual content. Coughing cat. Coughing cut. Exterior, alley behind David's house. Day. David and Grace saunter down the alley. Hands linked. Perfect asses front and center. The camera zooms in, locking on them. Grace starts to cough. Her ass jiggles too much. No longer perfect. She pulls out a cigarette, puffing mid-cough. Director on screen. Cut! The production crew groans, milling around. Crew member number 1. Fuck, we've got to shoot this again? Really? Crew member number 2. This is our goddamn fucking ending. The best we can do? 2 perfect asses? Grace keeps coughing, smirking. David shrugs. Cut to black. Alternate ending number 12. Ass-grabbing montage. Exterior. Alley. Behind David's house. Day. David and Grace walk the alley. Hands together. Perfect. Perfect what? I'm going to take a wild guess. But the next work is asses. Probably change it to bottoms. Rear ends. Heinies. It was asses swaying. A lot of swaying. My ass doesn't sway. The camera zooms in, then cuts to outtakes. David sticks his hand in Grace's back pocket, grinning. He grabs both cheeks with both hands, squeezing hard. One hand on one cheek, then the other on the other, refusing to hold her hand. David's a dick, laughing at Grace, rolls over David's a dick. Laughing as Grace rolls her eyes. Montage ends. They stop, still holding hands. Oblivious. Fade to black. Alternate ending number 13. Thong chaos. Exterior, alley, behind David's house, day. David and Grace stride down the alley, hands locked, perfect asses in view. The camera zooms in, then flips to... Flips to what, Grace? Flips to infrared mode? Flips to... Outtakes. David pulls Grace's thongs up, wedgie style. Grace pulls David's thong up, giggling. David pulls his own thong up, posing. David, no thong, pulls his pants down, bare ass out. David tries to pull Grace's pants down. She slaps him. They kiss, then fall in love all over again, laughing. Montage ends. Back to the rock, serene as ever. Fade to black. Well, that one's a little fucked up. I don't think I can blame Tom on that. Number 14, Sister Smackdown. I think this is the last one. Exterior, alley, behind David's house, day. David and Grace walk the alley, hands clasped. Perfect asses bouncing. The camera zooms in, then, director on screen, cut! Grace's sister, 20s, sweet, runs up, touching up Grace's makeup. David leers. David, maybe we need a body double. Your ass is almost as good. Grace slaps him, punches his arm, aims a kick at his nuts, misses. David, wincing, I get it. She's but a pale comparison to you, Grace. Though she's kinda cute, very sweet, kind, loving, helpful, patient. Everything you're not. Grace glares. Her sister scurries off. Cut to black. Alternate ending number 15. I think this is the last one. Exterior. Alley. Behind David's house. Day. David and Grace stroll the alley, hands together. Perfect asses, jiggling just right. The camera zooms in. Then, a tugboat honks, loud and dumb, screwing the audio. Now, if a tugboat would honk right now, Grace, that'd be fucking perfect. Let's see if it'll happen. Director on screen, cut! Iris, 28, fierce, David's daughter, Grace's stepdaughter. The DP throws up her hands. Iris, fuck, do I really have to take this shot? I don't want to shoot my dad's ass, his new wife, and his new wife's ass over and over again. It's wrong. The crew sighs. David winks at Grace, oblivious. Cut to black. Try that again. Iris, fuck. Do I really have to take this shot? I want to shoot my dad's ass and his new wife's ass over and over again. It's wrong. The crew sighs. David winks at Grace, oblivious. Cut to black. Alternate ending number 16. I thought that was the last one, Grace, but apparently there's more. Exterior, alley behind David's house, day. David, 60, ugly handsome, and Grace, 30, exotic, pretty. Walk down the alley, perfect asses swaying. The camera pans around quickly. Grace's perfectly bouncy boobs steal the show. Then David's own jiggly man boobs. Harry Ender's own... Grace's perfectly bouncy boobs sure steal the show, then David's own jiggly man boobs. Harry under his open North Face hoodie. Just as most men would get excited, the camera pans up to David's face. He smirks, closes the hoodie, hiding those bouncy boobs. David muttering, "Not today, fuckers." Fade to black. I get it. All the perverts think they're gonna see Grace's boobs. They see my hairy boobs. I get it. And just to fuck with them one day, I'll just drop 6 inches of leaves on the city. Just regular old leaves. Alright, that was the last one. The next scene is 52 Jokes Alternative. Tempted to read this, but I'm going to pause because we're at an hour. And I need something for tomorrow, so I don't lose my fucking mind. Grace. The thing about the movie The Drop is nature would also start to take over. And birds would probably just hang out on the edge of the city before midnight to see what sort of shit is dropped. And then if it's something they like worms, then they could just fly down and gorge themselves. Problem is, how many worms a day could a bird eat? And once they're gorged, how long does it take for it to get through the system so they can eat more? And if you're a bird, do you really want to eat so many worms that a cat can then easily catch you? Because at some point, I would have dropped a whole shitload of kittens on this town, and a bunch of them would have lived. Probably a bunch are still feral, and just waiting for the next drop of quail eggs or whatever is an easy kill for them. So at this point, it's a city of cats. Cats would last. Snakes. Took a couple million snakes of every single species from around the world and dropped them on a city. Most are gonna die, depending on the location. It's hard to say. Talk to you tomorrow, Grace.